Hey everybody, it's Jason Blaha here, and once again it is time for my client Demi's vlog. And as if a lot of you have noticed, I'm really only doing a couple client vlogs. I don't really feel the need to do large amounts of these. They don't get the views they used to get. They don't get the marketing they used to get, but I want to keep a couple up. Some of my clients who have definitely agreed to do long-term vlogging with. And that would be Michelle and Demi. There are others who want to, but I'm like, I don't really need the vlogs at the moment. But I feel like this gives me a pretty good diversity of people, because these are people who have pretty serious goals, right? They have pretty serious goals. And I have their training styles a little bit diverse, okay? So I think it makes for a good situation, because with Michelle, we're doing pure conjugate, whereas with Demi, we were prepping for a powerlifting meet, but he realized his internship and everything's going to get in the way of that. Business and everything else, all his business is growing, and he's trying to do all that. And he's like, I can't really prepare for a competition. And I'm like, you know what, that's fine. And something we had agreed upon, because he does physical therapy and stuff, he's like, I enjoy getting bigger. Let's go ahead and just get me thicker. Let's get me big. Let's put as much muscle in my frame as we can. And then next year, we'll go back over and consider stepping up on the platform again and getting ready for that. And I'm like, yeah, that's a great idea. Plus the perk of it, these are two lifetime drug-free lifters. So that gives me kind of an interesting thing to put up, because I put some pretty hard hitters up in the past as far as some of the lifts and stuff go. And, that's not relatable, I don't think, to the average viewer. It really isn't. People who are drug-free and we haven't got to the absolute elite level yet, and we're just doing solid building, moving forward year after year, like Michelle, we've taken her pretty far in like a year and a half, right? She's now getting up towards elite, still drug-free. Demi kind of is over here to where he's pulled over 5 plates, right? He's squatted over 4 plates, but is kind of in a lot of ways a late intermediate, and we have a lot of room to grow. So I think these are good people to use for the vlogs, and I think with his shifting of goals for now, that really works, because in his case, he does have a lot of different equipment. And you can see he has a lot of this Rogue stuff in his home studio. He's got the big commercial gym, all that stuff that he goes to and does some work out of. So, it works really, really good. It works good for our purposes. And I also like to highlight these people because they have fitness-related professions, right? They have fitness-related professions. So this is, again, coaching the coaches. And I think it can give some good examples of, what do you do with people who already know how to train? Well, this is where we get it really advanced with everything, right? Because these are people who already have trained others, right? They have careers that are in some way related to all of this. Interesting to take these sort of people and to get them up to the next tier. Or in Michelle's case, we've taken her a couple tiers. We've taken Demi up a tier. We can get him up another tier. And so right now, if you look at his training, and I may not voice through all of this, I put a bunch of the footage up and I may leave some of it silent for you guys just to watch, kind of as we go through. I kind of have 4 different days, and it's mainly because he likes variation. He really liked conjugate because of the variation. So I don't have him do the same lifts on all 4 days always. There's some mixing. We use a couple different bars. He only deadlifts one of the days. We do deficit pulls for an AMRAP pretty much. So his programming right now, we take a couple of the big lifts and we do top sets at the start of the workout. It's 4-day upper lower, just like before. We do a top set and we do a bunch of hypertrophy work. And those top sets can get pretty high. Some of those he's hit 7 or 8. When he does, obviously, we have to take weight up, because I'd really like to see them, in about the 4 to 6 rep range, 3 to 6 rep range. Some good quality heavy reps. And then we build those top end sets, okay? And I prescribe the weight. So that's how this works for him. And no, it's not like 5-3-1, because that runs a 3-week wave. We don't run waves. I prescribe weights that I think are going to keep him pretty close to where I want. And when he starts exceeding those rep ranges where I want him for that given point, because then that'll change a little bit from time to time, I'll change that weight. In this case, it's going to be a general upward trend because he's getting bigger. We're going to pursue maximum muscle mass, maximum body composition. So we do that on top end sets, and then everything else is just accessory work, right? All of it after that looks kind of like bodybuilding type programs. Granted, he's got long levers, so things are difficult, like these belt squats and stuff. He's over 6 feet tall. He's a taller guy, right? And so accordingly, stuff can get a little wonky with the belt squats. But you know what? We make it work, right? Long as he gets those range of motion, we make it work. And he has a good idea of what he can get away with physically. Some people who might chime in, it's like, guys, he's got a degree of physical therapy. He has a pretty good idea of biomechanics. And so we work around those things, try to work around overuse. We're trying to get him into these deeper angles that he's able to get into, again, with his levers. And that's the thing with taller lifters, and this is something I've observed over the decades. Definitely something you notice coaching, because I've coached everyone from short people to, guys who are 6'5". And the thing is, the taller lifters, we deal with some wonky leverages, We deal with some wonky leverages. And it's just the downside of it, right? Those long femurs, those long legs. And so in his case, like the belt squats, for us to get any sort of depth, he has to do weird stuff. He's got to have a lot of forward lean and things, just so that he can get deep enough on them. And that's okay. You guys can see here on his upper day, we do a bench press for his top end set. He wanted to use his football bar. He's like, I have it. I don't want to waste it. So I let him use it on the other day in his home studio. Go to the commercial gym, though. We get under the straight bar, right? We do some flat benching. We do some overhead pressing. And, of course, we do a lot of back work with all of this because, again, all my lifters do lots of back work. And since we don't have a powerlifting meet coming, we don't worry about traditional back squats with a straight bar, even though I like them. I use them. In his case, he's dealt with a lot of inflammation up in that area, and so we're just trying to unload it right now. So I have him do a safety bar, just like I had him go over to Romanian deadlifts for a while to get that bar up off of his back. We just use a safety bar. Why? It'll still build his quads. We can still get a deep squat, right? We can build quads. We can build the movement pattern of a back squat, using the equipment he has to work around those things, work around that various inflammation. So you guys will notice when we get over to the squatting and stuff, he uses the safety bar, right? Do a lot of safety bar work. We do the belt squat. Again, the idea here is to, again, just build muscle. Well, I probably need to wind this vlog down. I had to pause it in the middle of recording. I just got some interesting family news. So again, I probably won't be able to think about this vlog a whole lot more. It's not necessarily bad stuff, but again, interesting. So I won't be able to make any more videos today. I'm in my mind on other things. But you guys get the idea of this vlog. So I hope it's been informative. I'll go ahead and run out the rest of the footage, and I will talk to you guys next time.